I want to talk to you about how to get a high limit credit card without a social security number. No credit check whatsoever. Don't go anywhere. You're going to love to this conversation. I guarantee it. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweaty Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you are to ask me. If you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's convo, I want to speak to you about how to get approved for a high limit credit card without a social security number. Again, what we're talking about no credit check whatsoever. And this video is sequential to another video we produced about the top 10 unsecured credit cards that approve you without social security number. So if you haven't already, please go watch that video after this one. You will love it. We gave viewers tons of info about the best credit card that require no social. And this video is kind of cool. This current video is kind of cool because it focuses on two categories of people. First, you have U.S. citizens and green card holders who have no credit, thin credit, poor credit, or fair credit. In a nutshell, folks who are just frustrated of being denied over and over and over. So this goes from students to adults with a less than stellar credit history. So that's the first category. The second category, we have non-citizens who are trying to get into the U.S. credit system and establish credit so they can participate fully in the economy, take care of their bills, buy a property, and live a comfortable life. Okay, so this is kind of important to understand. So when we speak about high limit credit cards without a social security number, we have three types of issuers. So we have traditional credit card issuers such as Capital One and Citi. We have quote unquote alternative credit card issuers such as Grow, Tomo, and Chime. And then we also have the issuers who focus exclusively on the quote-unquote subprime credit cards such as WebBank and Synchrony Bank. In terms of the typology of cards, we have the cards that require bank account only and the cards that require ITIN only. So you have ITIN stands for Individual Tax Identification Number. So you have two category of cards. The cards that focus on bank account only, so that's great for citizens or green card holders. So if you have bad credit or thin credit or fair credit and you have a fat checking account, you might qualify for those cards. And if you are a foreigner, then you want to go for the cards that require ITIN only. So most of the cards we are reviewing today are pure credit cards, whereas one or two are hybrid credit cards, what we call hybrid credit and debit cards. In other words, they're not secure credit cards in the strictest sense of the term, but they are, to say things simply, credit cards that use your own money to help you build credit. So here I mean Chime, Tomo, and Grow Credit. The first thing you need to do is to get an ITIN if needed. We have actually covered this on another show. This is the IRS form W7 line by line instructions, applications for IRS individual tax identification number. So if you're interested, go watch that video. We really go at length in terms of all the things you need to do. And so in general, only U.S. citizens and non-citizens authorized to work in the U.S. are eligible for a social security number. But you are generally not required to provide one if you don't have one, according to the Social Security Administration. Instead, you can obtain an ITIN, which is available regardless of your immigration status. It follows the same 9-digit format as a social security number and can be used in place on one of the credit card applications you are filling out. Okay, so big question, big decision time. Do you need an ITIN? Do you know if you need one? So if any of the following applies to you, you might need an ITIN. You do not have a social security number and are not eligible to obtain one, and you have a requirement to furnish a federal tax identification number or file a federal tax return, and you are one of the following categories: non-resident alien who is required to file a U.S. tax return, U.S. resident alien who is based on days present in the United States filing a U.S. tax return, depending on spouse of a U.S. citizen resident alien, depending or spouse of a non-resident alien claiming a tax treaty benefits, and non-resident alien student, professor or researcher filing a U.S. tax return or claiming an exemption. Okay, so the thing is, if you want to apply for an ITIN, we're showing you on the screen here, you need to file Form W7. And where to apply, you have three options. You can either mail your W7 tax return, proof of identity, or foreign status document to Internal Revenue Service, Austin Service Center, ITIN operation. We're going to put this on the screen. So they have PO Box 149342, Austin, Texas 78714. That's the first option. Second option is to apply for an ITIN in person using the services of an IRS authorized certifying acceptance agent. And option number three, you can make an appointment at a designated IRS Taxpayer Assistance Center. This will also prevent you from having to mail your proof of identity and foreign status document. And after processing, the IRS will issue your ITIN through the mail, okay? Something you need to, now if you have more questions, you can call 1-800-829-1040 if you are in the United States, or 267-941-1000. This is not a toll-free number if you are outside the United States. Step number 3, folks, I'm still talking to you about how to get a high limit personal credit card without a social security number. So step number 1, you need to get an ITIN if you need one. Step number 2, you need to open a bank account. Very important. As I've told you before, there are 2 card categories that cater to folks who don't want to use their social as part of the underwriting process. One is the credit card issuers that want you to have a bank account. They don't care about your credit score. They don't care about your financial situation. They want to have your bank account. And then 2, you have those who want you to have an ITIN. So you need to open a bank account regardless of your status, whether you're a citizen or non-citizen, okay? Once you open a bank account, please, you want to get direct deposit. Very important. You want to use your debit cards as often as possible. You want to create some kind of a history here, transactional history. This is critical. You want to try to get a secured credit card first. See, the thing here is that a secured credit card is a lot easier to get than an unsecured credit card because they know you have to deposit your own money and they will issue you the card. So it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. At the end of the day, you just want to get the foot in the door, right? So if you are at the bank right now, please, you want to open a secured credit card with the bank where you are at. If it's a national bank, go ahead, and all national banks offer secure credit cards. And the thing here is that you need to understand your status. Are you a student? Are you an adult? Are you a foreigner? What kind of a card do you need? So based on that, you want to speak to the branch where you're located. So you want to call or go to the branch and sit down and ask them about your situation and what kind of cards works for you. Okay. Now let me ask you a question. Big decision time. Do you currently have bank accounts? If yes, do you have them at one institution or 2 or 3? You see, the reason why I'm asking this question is that it's a lot more strategic and a lot wiser to have at least accounts at 2 institutions. And the cool thing we have seen is that you can try to mix things up. So you can open an account at a national bank, a checking account that is, and another checking account or savings account at a credit union or a community bank. That way you have a good strategy, a hybrid strategy to increase your chances of approval. And we have covered, there is a nice video that we covered recently. It's called 10 Rare Community Bank Credit Cards for Bad or Fair Credit, Huge Amounts and Cheap APRs. Go check that video. You might love it. Step number 3, if you want to get a high limit credit cards, unsecured credit cards without a social security number, you want to improve your finances. At the end of the day, it's all about the ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. This is very important. So please, how much you currently have in your account, in your checking accounts, in your savings accounts, in your CDs, in your money market accounts? How much moolah do you have? Talk to me. because I want you to save, and save more. You want to open a savings account and funding with direct deposit. Ideally, what you want to do is the bank where you want to get the credit card is also the bank where you will put your cash. This is the bank where you will open your savings account, because don't try to open a savings account and checking account at Chase, for example, and apply for a credit card without social security number from Citi. It wouldn't work that way. The restrictions and the requirements will be too much for you. But if you were to open that account with Chase, things will go a lot easier, because guess what? They already have your transactional history. They see things going on in your account. They see the volume, they see the history, they see the frequency. They have all kind of intel about your financial life. So it's a lot easier. You also want to comparison shop your insurance. A great way to improve your finances is to comparison shop your insurance. Before I speak about insurance, please, I also want you to open a savings account and you want to fund it with direct deposit. Anytime you fund something with direct deposit, you're telling three things to the account, to the bank: that you have a job, that you have a good salary, and that you are disciplined in terms of your financial life. This trifecta is critical because it paints a positive image about your financial situation vis-a-vis the bank. The bank will look at your account and say, this is a great client. We're gonna give him or her an unsecured credit card, even if there's no social security involved. You also want to comparison shop your insurance, because insurance has a big impact on your financial situation, right? So at least once a year, you want to take an hour and make some phone calls to other insurers to comparison shop. You might be surprised to find that you can lower your auto, home, or life insurance premiums by quite a bit. You want to try to lower your monthly bills, okay? Call your cable and cell phone providers and ask if you're getting the best deal. You never know. And also, you want to set up an IRA or contribute to your 401k. So those are pretty good. This is solid advice if you want to improve your financial situation long run. And once you have a better financial situation, you can get any credit cards you need, even if you don't have a social security number or you don't want to use one. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another section of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I am speaking to you today about how to get a high limit credit card without a social security number. Step number 1, you want to get an ITIN if needed. Number 2, you want to open a bank account. Number 3, you want to improve your financial situation. Number 4 or 5, if you consider the overview, you want to consider cards that do not require a social security number. There are certain cards that do not require a social security number. As a matter of fact, we have already covered this topic extensively in another video, so I'm just going to quickly run through the list here. But if you're interested in that topic, please go watch that video. It's called the Top 10 Unsecured Credit Cards That Approve You with No Social Security Number. So if you haven't already, go watch that video after this one, okay? Again, you will love it. We give viewers tons of info about the best credit cards that require no SSN. So what are those cards? So you have the Chase Freedom Unlimited. You have the Capital One Quicksilver One Cash Rewards. You have the Tomo credit cards. You have the Journey Student Rewards from Capital One. You have the Pedal 2 Visa credit card. You have the Grow credit card, the Grow Credit MasterCard. You have the Deserve EDU MasterCard for students. You have the Evan Card credit card. You have the Jasper MasterCard. You have the Upperturn Visa credit card. You have the Pedal One No Annual Fee Visa credit card. And you have the Indigo Platinum MasterCard. So all these cards actually do not require any social security number. So for example, the Chase Freedom Unlimited, if you are a Chase client, you're good to go. Same thing for the Capital One Quicksilver One Cash Rewards. Okay, this is a card that you can get without a social security number. The Tomo credit card, they pay attention to your bank account. They want to have your bank account, and it doesn't matter if you have a FICO score or not. They will still accept you, and they might give you a credit limit up to $10,000. And the Journey Students Rewards from Capital One, same thing. If you don't have a social, they're okay with that. Same thing with the Pedal 2 and Pedal 1. No credit history needed, but they might have some fees. The Grow Credit MasterCard, they pay attention to your account, to your checking accounts. The Do You Deserve EDU MasterCard, it's built for students who generally have thin or no credit. Same thing for Avant card. Jasper also might be a little expensive, but yeah, they do not require a social security number, and they can give you a credit limits up to $15,000. So again, you have a constellation of cards there. Next, you might want to get a secured card from a big bank. I spoke about that earlier, but I want to really zero in on this aspect of things again. Now, let me ask you a question. Big decision time. Do you currently have a secured credit card from a bank, or do you need one? Or do you have a credit card at all? Or are you exploring your possibilities in terms of personal credit cards, high limits, no social security number? Because a secured card from a big bank might be a good way to start. The reason is that you are establishing a relationship with the bank. They are checking they're checking to make sure that you use your card responsibly. You are using your own money first, but very quickly you can get upgraded to an unsecured credit cards. Let's go through our repertoire of the best big bank secured credit cards. First, you have the US Bank Secured Visa card. This card has no annual fee. The regular APR 24% variable. The credit score 0 to 649. If you have no credit, it's still okay. And you can get up to 5,000 credit line depending on security deposit. Then you have the Bank AmeriCard Secured Credit Card. This is a card that allows you to build credit with no annual fee. You get an online FICO score for free. No social needed. You have a 3% foreign transaction fee. The APR is kind of high though, so you want to really be a little careful here. And minimum of $300 deposit required. Then you have the Citi Secured MasterCard. This is a great option that can help you build credit over time. It has no rewards though, but it doesn't have any of the excessive upfront or annual fees charged by many other secured cards. You just want to pay on time for 18 months and you may be upgraded to an unsecured card. You just want to steer clear of holding a balance to avoid the high APR. Secure credit lines from $200 to $2,500. Okay, there is a foreign transaction fee and there's a high cash advance fee. You have the Discover It Secured Credit Card. This is one of the best cards in the market. You can actually get cash back on this card. 1% cash back rate on all purchases, plus 2% cash back at gas stations and restaurants on up to $1,000 in combined purchases every quarter. And then you have the Capital One Platinum Secure Credit Card, another great card. You can get a security deposit of $49, $99, and $200, and there's no annual fee, no foreign transaction fee, and applicants may be eligible with limited, bad credit, limited credit, no credit, and no social security number. Step number 7, the last step. You want to select the best card for you. Big decision time here, folks. Which credit card is the best for you, whether you have a social security number or none? Which is the best for you? Have you thought about it? Which institution where do you currently bank, right? Let me ask you a question. What are your spending patterns? Because in order to select the best credit card for you, the best high limit unsecured credit card for you without social security number, you need to study a few things. Your spending patterns, your lifestyle. What are the things you spend more money on? Your credit score category. Which credit score category are you in? Is it no credit, thin credit, bad credit, fair credit, non-citizen? Depending on your category, you might find that some cards offer better options than others. This is why you want to actually inquire with the bank where you currently have accounts and have a conversation with them. In order to select the best card for you, you also need to think about your location. Depending on the states where you live, you might find that there are more opportunities. This is why I was telling you earlier to have a hybrid, a dual strategy, where you get one credit card from a big national bank and a credit card from a credit union or a community bank. That way you would have covered both paths, both sides of the equation. You also want to think about whether you want a card that charges fees. I'm speaking about foreign transaction fees, late payment fees, annual fees, etc. Also think about whether you want rewards, travel, or cashback cards. How do you spend your money? So you want to look for a card that delivers the highest rewards for the categories you spend the most on. If you are, say, a big spender, you want to consider getting a card with an annual fee if your rewards earnings will offset the cost. If you're planning to use the card abroad, you want to look for one with no foreign transaction fees and chip and pin capability instead of the chip and signature technology that's standards in the United States. So this goes for other types of cards too, okay? You also want to think about how complicated the card is. If you don't want to contend with limited award seat availability, spending caps, rotating bonus rewards, and loyalty tiers, you want to consider a card with flat rate cashback rewards. All right, folks, this is it for today's conversation. I was actually talking to you about how to get a high limit credit card with no social security number. So I gave you an overview, and then I gave you the 6 steps. Get an ITIN if needed, open a bank account, improve your finances, consider cards that do not require a social security number, get a secured card from a big bank, select the best card for you. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.